You know what his name is to me? His name is Prophet Williams. Prophet Katt Williams. Man's a prophet. We, not black people, all people, we have gotten so used to the lie. The truth is uncomfortable. Katt did a great job of exposing all that he wanted to expose during his interview. He spoke his truth. He shed light on things that he wanted to talk about and address. And then everything else that happened followed. See, we live in a world right now where you fell in love with David Copperfield. You fell in love with the smoke. You have fell in love with who people appear to be.
Hey YouTube world, Harvest is plenty. Thanks for stopping by to check out the video. Please don't forget to hit the like or thumbs up button for me. So today we're going to get into the Emerald Tablet. Most people never heard of it, don't know what it is, and we're going to discuss that a little bit today. It actually was brought up to people's radar because of the promotion by Billy Carson. He's made his rounds all over social media. He's appeared on many of these big channels with like 500,000, 600,000, a million, 1,000,005, 2 million subscribers. You know, all the major podcasts, he's made his rounds. And then Terrence Howard came out promoting also the Emerald Tablet and Sacred Geometry. And I'll do a video on Terrence Howard and Sacred Geometry. It's coming up, so stay tuned for that. But then Katt Williams started promoting the Emerald Tablet as well. He's also making his rounds. And many people will be surprised and shocked at that, but not me. I've knew a long time ago that Katt Williams was also initiated as well. Many people think he's just a rogue. He just went rogue, and he's against the Illuminati. He's against the New World Order. He's against Freemasonry. He's against witchcraft because he was born a Jehovah's Witness, and he speaks about God all the time and how he relies on God for his success. Well, God is a generic term. I like to tell people that all the time. God is a generic term, and people falsely assume that it's their God. If someone says, yes, I believe in God, if you are a Christian, you could falsely assume that he's talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or he's talking about Jesus Christ, or whatever the case may be. But don't assume anything. God said, by their fruits, you shall know them. So before I jump fully in, let me just say this as well. Unless you have your relationship with Jesus Christ nailed down and cemented tight, you will fall away and start following his fallen angel, fallen watcher philosophy and theology. And you will readily accept the coming Antichrist. You will worship him, and you will take his mark voluntarily. So be careful who you follow, what you believe in, because some dark times are coming, some hard times are coming, and a lot of people are going to fall away during those hard times. They're going to turn their back on Jesus Christ. They're going to believe in their experiences and in manifestations like The Secret, the book The Secret and stuff like that, and believe that you could become Christ. Or as this guy told me, he wrote me a note, and you don't know what you're talking about because Christ is just a consciousness. Cool. If you believe that, that's fine. I'm not here to argue or debate with anybody. You believe what you believe. I'm just telling you that the enemy is leading you down a dark hole. So let's get into it.
It began to take over everything. It wasn't just in those altered states of consciousness, but I got really into astral projection, which is basically it has to do with the spirit realm and trying to consciously leave your body and visit these things. And then I became obsessed with lucid dreaming, where you can allegedly train yourself to wake up in your dreams. And it was scary, the things that I was experiencing, but it was almost like such a draw to experience it again. But those were, again, even to this day, some of my most vivid memories are of the encounters or experiences I believed I was having with these entities while in those states. As I got more and more into the occult and more into giving myself over, I believed that these entities, again, loved me. And I think that is like hard to say now, but it was such a big part of that, is that I genuinely believe that these were real entities that really cared for me and I was special to them. And I believe they wanted to see through my eyes. So I would want them to use my body in terms of channeling. At the time, I didn't think of it as possession, but just, it was like from childhood, I thought that I had this special connection. So, at a certain point when I was in the order that I was in, practicing magic in the apartment that I was in, I started having this fascination with an entity named Thoth or Thoth, an ancient Egyptian deity, and set up an altar and had that name on my mirrors. And I started to just experience very scary things, just a lot of terror, a lot of shadowed figures. And it was very isolating because I felt like I was losing my mind. I couldn't talk to many people about this without feeling crazy. And it was very isolating.
So that was Jack. She's the born again Christian who was initiated into the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn in Los Angeles, California, in a Freemasonic lodge. And her testimony is on my channel. We also know that Aleister Crowley was also affiliated with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. You know, they did magic, alchemy, Kabbalah, all of that stuff. Sacred geometry, astral projections, the whole nine, lucid dreaming. And her whole thing was that, you know, she would become God through this sacred and esoteric knowledge. And it's the same lie from the beginning that I've discussed many a times from the Garden of Eden. But she said that she was connected to an Egyptian deity, a demonic deity, a fallen angelic deity named Thoth. So remember that. Egyptian demonic deity named Thoth. And sometimes they connect his name as Thoth Hermes. And Hermes just means son of Ham. They use these Egyptian names to try to confuse you. As I said before, Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz, the Babylonian Trinity. And after the fall of the Tower of Babel, it just moved down the road to Egypt. And Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz became Osiris, Isis, and Horus. That's all it is. It's a confusion of the enemy, but that's all it is. So let's get to the Emerald Tablet. I'm on Wikipedia. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but it says Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet is a compact, cryptic, hermetic text, Hermes. It was a highly regarded foundational text for many Islamic and European alchemists. Now, my next video is going to show you how Islam is connected to Freemasonry, is connected to the Kabbalah, is connected to Hermeticism, is connected to the fallen angels and all of that. It's coming up next. Just stay tuned. Let's continue. Though attributed to the legendary Hellenistic figure Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes, 3 times great, and Hermes means son of Ham. They're talking about Cush. The text of the Emerald Tablet first appeared in a number of early medieval Arabic sources, the oldest of which dates to the late 8th or early 9th century. It was translated into Latin several times in the 12th and 13th centuries. Numerous interpretations and commentaries followed. Medieval and early modern alchemists associated the Emerald Tablet with the creation of the Philosopher's Stone and an artificial production of gold. Now let me just stop there real quick. In a couple of books I have in my library that I've read that's written by these alchemists and occultists, some even stated that during the war in heaven that Lucifer had an emerald stone on his forehead where the third eye is supposed to be at, or above the pineal gland. And then the war, this emerald stone got dislodged and fell to earth. And, of course, these secret societies got it and they're safekeeping it and guarding it. But the emerald stone, nonetheless, whether that's allegorical, mythology, symbolic, or whatever case may be, it has always been connected with Lucifer, the fallen angel. All right, let's continue. It says the Emerald Tablet has also been popular with 19th and 20th century occultists and esotericists, among whose the expression as above and so below has become an often cited motto. So when it comes to the Emerald Tablet, people who are into the occult world, alchemy, witchcraft, magic, they're the ones who have it, they read it, they promote it. It says here a little bit about the background of the Emerald Tablet. Beginning from the 2nd century BC onwards, Greek texts attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a syncretic combination of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, appeared in Greco-Roman Egypt. These texts, known as the Hermetica, are a heterogeneous collection of works that in the modern day are commonly subdivided into two groups: the technical Hermetica, comprising of astrological, medical, botanical, alchemical, and magical writings, and the second part is the religio-philosophical Hermetica, comprising of mystical philosophical writings. So pretty much is a book of philosophy that deals with astrology, alchemy, and magic. Fallen angelic theology, pretty much what the Emerald Tablet is. So guys, I really want to hammer my point home that the Emerald Tablet is nothing but Luciferian fallen angelic theology, and you guys should stay away from it. So I went and got one of my books. I have a lot of books that I've read. I have some on PDF. Most of them are in paperback or hardback books, but this is on PDF. So I want to read it to you so you guys can see. And this particular source, the guy who wrote this book, he's actually involved in the occult world. He's involved in magic and Freemasonry and all of that stuff. And he actually hates Christianity. He hates Jesus Christ. He says that Christianity is the religion of darkness because it keeps man in bondage, whereas Lucifer and the knowledge that comes from the fallen angels, it frees man and allows man to become a god. And so I'm going to show you how Hermes and Thoth and the Emerald Tablet, how is that same Luciferian fallen angel philosophy and theology. So chapter 12 of this book, The Art of Hermes, that I have, and we're going to read it. It says, pure philosophy is the spiritual striving through constant contemplation to attain true knowledge. Hermes. It goes on to say, one of the major mythical figures who unites classical paganism and medieval magic or theurgy with the Luciferian tradition is Hermes Trismegistus, or thrice greatest. Dr. Francis Yates says a large literature in Greek developed under the name of Hermes Trismegistus, or Hermes 3 times great, concerned with astrology and occult sciences, with the secret virtue of plants and stones, and a sympathetic magic based on knowledge of such virtues, with the making of talismans for drawing down the power of the stars and so on. This natural magia, or natural magic, is exactly the same occult knowledge that the fallen angels imparted to early humans. Boom! There it is. I'm not done. I want to hammer home some more when it comes to Hermes and the Emerald Tablet and Thoth and all of that stuff. It goes on here. It's talking about the old charges in Freemasonry, and it says that the Masonic views of Hermes provides more information to suggest that he was basically of a Luciferian nature and an important figure in our journey of discovery into the mysteries of the fallen ones. There we go. Who were the fallen ones? Still talking about the fallen angels. As I said, everything is based on that. Here's the Emerald Tablet right there. You can see the outline of the book. And I'm going to blow it up for you so we can read something else. Where is it? They still talking about the fallen angels. Let's see here. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Where is it? All right, here we go. Blow this up. Talking about magic again. And it says here, I want you guys to see it too. It says, writing about Hermes Trismegistus and the fact he was often associated with the secret societies, makes the following point. The famous secrets of esoteric groups are not so much secrets as rituals by which the uninitiated are brought to a certain level of consciousness where they can't understand something hitherto unavailable to their awareness. Most of the time, the secret is nothing other than the ability to see what is already there, which is the goal of initiation. It goes on to say, this, simply put, is the hidden key to understanding both the Hermetic and Luciferian traditions and how they are linked together through the mystical figure of Hermes Thoth. Remember Thoth? Its ultimate goal is summed up by Pythagoras in the words, having divested thyself of the mortal body, thou arrivest at the most pure ether. Thou shalt be a god, immortal, incorruptible, and death shall have no more dominion over thee. There it is. Man becomes God. That's what it's always been about. It's about man becoming God. That's it. Now, what does Katt Williams have to say about the Emerald Tablet, about Hermes Thoth, and all of that stuff? Let's see.
Tesla says that this is where he came to get the information. But if you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character called Thoth, right? And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing, just because you understand when this was written and the terminology being used is
when was it written?
Far too accurate for now. So I'm sure that
Here it is. Emerald Tablet.
that's what I understood when I broke the internet. Like, when you start studying quotes and where great quotes come from, you start getting these people that are known for their great quotes, right? But the further you go back, you see who really said it 1st. You know what I mean? And that's what brings it full circle to that emerald tablet I was telling you about, right? Because 70% of it is something you've heard somewhere else.
I can't wait to read it. I wasn't even aware of it, but it totally makes sense.
There are things in it that are verbatim to the Bible, verbatim to the Quran, like verbatim.
I'm gonna read it. It's insane.
Like, even Tesla says that this is where he came to get the information. But if you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character called Thoth, right? And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing, just because you understand when this was written and the terminology being used is
Boom. There it is. Promotion of the Emerald Tablet. And the Egyptian god Thoth, the demonic deity of the fallen angel. And in case you guys don't know about Tesla, we're not talking about the car Tesla that Elon Musk, who's building a Neuralink and all of that stuff to put the brain chip in your head. We're talking about Nikola Tesla, the original Tesla. If you've done any research or study on him, he said that he would channel entities from another realm, and those entities that he communed with, they're the ones who gave him the information to do what he did. Isn't that something? Imagine that. So, in case you're wondering, well, I thought Katt Williams was a godly man. I thought this and I thought that. I just read to you that the Emerald Tablet is connected with alchemy, the occult world, magic, witchcraft, all of that stuff. It's fallen angelic theology. Why would Katt Williams be promoting that? Is he involved with that stuff? Let's see. Fox 5. It says lawsuit against Katt Williams described beatdown and witchcraft. And here's old Katt Williams. Here's a mugshot of Katt. You see this right here beneath this lip? I'll just say that's not hair. And we're going to talk about that. It's a tattoo. And here's what it says. Comedian Katt Williams, whose arrests have landed him in front of several judges the past month, may need to make another judicial appearance, and this case has occult overtones. TMZ reported that Jamila Majesty filed a lawsuit against Williams, claiming that she was brutally beaten after she used Williams' bathroom. Majesty's suit claims she was visiting Williams at his Malibu, California home when the incident happened. She said 5 other women were already there. The lawsuit alleges the women beat Majesty for hours, and Williams put out a cigarette on her face. She claims while this was going on, one of the women was reading a book of spells, causing unusual things to happen. The lawsuit is for assault and battery, false imprisonment, and emotional distress. All right. Let's go to TMZ. TMZ. Katt Williams sued his witches beat me for hours and put a spell on me. And that's the young lady. So she's alleging that Katt Williams is involved in the occult world and witchcraft. Could it be true, Katt? This TMZ. It says this one is bizarre even by Katt Williams standards. An actress is accusing the comedian of organizing a beatdown on her that included Wiccan sorcery. Let me blow this up so you guys don't say, oh, he's reading something that's not there. You see it? Jamila Majesty says the brutal incident went down at Katt's Malibu home almost 2 years ago. She says she says he invited her over, and when she arrived, 5 other women were already there. In a lawsuit she's filed against Katt, she says things went south quick when she made the mistake of using his bathroom. Jamila says Katt told her no one uses my bathroom, and then the women started punching her. She says the beatings continued for 3 hours. She lost consciousness several times, was bloodied, and Katt burned her face with a Newport cigarette. She also says one of Katt's chicks had a book open in a room which contained teachings on sorcery and spells. And there was a fire that was being fed by unusual things. Jamila says that she was finally able to leave around 1:30 a.m. and drove home bloody. She says she was too afraid to call 911 out of fear Katt would get revenge. She's suing for assault, battery, false imprisonment, and emotional distress. Is she lying? Could it be more to the story? I don't know. Katt is promoting the Emerald Tablet, and he was very cautious. He was very cautious of how he used his words. For people who know, you know. And for those of you who don't know, you don't know. You don't have ears to hear, and you don't have eyes to see. All right, this is the wrap. Let's see what it says. Katt Williams sued for assault and battery over alleged witchcraft-related incident. Now, it's going to tell the same thing over and over again, except one part. It says here, I'll start here. I'll blow it up for you. It says, Majesty claims that a group of Williams' female companions, housemates, who were also at the home, descended on her and punched her during a beating that went on for 3 hours after Williams became angry that she used his bathroom. At one point, the suit claims Williams himself burned Majesty in the face with a lit cigarette. The lawsuit also claims Williams slapped the plaintiff several times and punched her in the ribs in addition to beating her with a group of women. Majesty says she reportedly lost consciousness during the alleged assault, only to be revived with ice packs each time so that the assault could continue. As a result of the beating, she suffered broken ribs, split tendons, scarring to her face, and other extreme physical and emotional damage, the suit read. And the lawsuit gets weird. And then the lawsuits get weird. Let me blow it up. In a description of the alleged incident attached as an exhibit to the lawsuit, Majesty recalls opening and glancing at a book on a bed in Williams' home. The description said that she assumed that the book was a Wiccan book, something evil with teachings on sorcery and spells. She also claimed that there was a fire going that was fed with unusual things for a fire. I'm not sure what, but my intuition picked up on it, and the fire smelled of sweetness more so than a normal fire, and that she believes Williams had women on the premises read me cyclically. So he had psychics there. Williams' spokeswoman has not responded to the rap's request for comment. Wow. So is Katt Williams involved in witchcraft and sorcery and spells? And could that have been the secret to his success? Some people are going to see this video. They're going to believe it. Some are going to dismiss it. Please don't leave me no hate-filled messages. I'm not here to debate or argue with anybody. You believe what you believe. It is what it is. All I'm telling you guys, and it doesn't matter when it comes to these entertainers, these celebrities, these politicians. As I said before, the overwhelming majority of them has been initiated, and they're using witchcraft, magic, sorcery, all of that stuff, the Kabbalah. Just like a lot of people say, well, Tucker Carlson is for the people. No, Tucker Carlson is a Freemason, and he walks around and does interviews with that little red string around his wrist. That's the Kabbalah string. And again, if you don't have eyes to see and ears to hear, you just won't believe. And again, you can believe whatever you want to believe. If you don't have your relationship nailed down with Jesus Christ, you're going to fall. And you're going to follow Katt Williams. You're going to follow the Demi Moores of the world, and the Lady Gagas of the world, and the Beyoncés, and the Donald Trumps of the world, and the Kamala Harrises of the world. You're going to follow all of them into this fallen watcher theology. It is what it is. That's all I have for you, and that's all I have to say. I love you guys. May God continue to bless you and your family.
The owl is both the symbol of the club and also that 30-foot statue, and it's not just there for looks. As I said, it's part of a ritual. Now, in mythology, particularly the Greco-Roman style, the owl is associated with wisdom and knowledge, and of course, therefore, also Athena/Minerva. Of course, the owl also appears in the symbolism of another secret society from about a century earlier, that being the Illuminati. Now, the owl, of course, its involvement in these rituals dates to about 1906. A 1908 document entitled The Bohemian Jinx, a treatise, describes this ritual as the Owl and Care. Of course, it is more commonly known by a different name, the Cremation of Care.
What's Justin Bieber's latest message to his fans? I'll see you later. Well, not exactly, but JB did shake up the entertainment world over the weekend when he was the first to reveal his newest tattoo, and as you would guess, yes, the new artwork is an owl. The large black and gray animal covers a huge portion of the singer's arm, very close to his recent Believe tattoo. This marks Justin's 8th tattoo overall and his 6th just this year. Now, as I mentioned, the Biebs was the first to show off the tattoo on Instagram, explaining briefly that he wanted to put it out there before the paparazzi had the chance to take a shot.
Hermetic link, yeah. Ice blue make. Yeah.
We don't know what he said, but that's Drake proudly showing off his gift to himself for completing his European tour, a $120,000 40-carat necklace of an owl.
My last question: the tattoo on your chin, what does that signify?
Oh, it's an owl. It just means wisdom and knowledge and learning things.
Right.
You sometimes, just as a man, not as an entertainer, you're put in positions where you have to make hard decisions, and a lot of times you're counting on the fans to feel a certain way, and sometimes you don't get that back. That happens in relationships and everyday life. It's regrettable. It's cost the entire comedy community, and we have to understand that it's not supposed to be one comedian in comedy. It was never supposed to be. It was either Richard Pryor or Bill Cosby. There's room for all types of funny, and they're all necessary.
My last question: the tattoo on your chin, what does that signify?
Oh, it's an owl. It just means wisdom and knowledge and learning things.
We, not black people, all people, we have gotten so used to the lie. The truth is uncomfortable. See, we live in a world right now where you fell in love with David Copperfield. You fell in love with the smoke. You have fell in love with who people appear to be.
They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking. You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it. And all American citizens, I think, have suspected something like this is going on. But we're all too busy trying to stay alive and live our lives. And after all, what can one person do about it?